And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, James Out West Saturday edition, May 8th, 2021. What's up, my brother?
Living. Good week.
It was a good week.
It was interesting for certain people.
Yeah, it was interesting for certain people.
There's some different changes, especially the NBA's wrapping up. We're getting closer to seeing who's going to be in the play-in and the playoffs.
Remember, last year LeBron loved it. This year he hates it.
Oh, they should get fired.
Mm-hmm.
But I think...
Mr. Read the first page of the book only. Never mind. Keep going. Sorry.
So I think the biggest thing, we haven't had a show since the end of the draft.
Yep.
So
that is correct.
Biggest takeaways for you?
Don't believe all the smoke, as per usual.
Yep.
Trey Lance going to your Niners. You were very excited about that.
I like it. I think he's raw. I don't think Jimmy's going anywhere for at least a year.
Yeah, I agree. Doesn't make sense to them to trade him.
No, not at this point. I think I liked our draft. But anyways, I'll let you continue.
Browns had a good draft.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, Chicago moving up, going out guns a-blazing, or maybe buying them an extra year or two with this young kid who's instantly going to be. Now, they said they don't want to rush him.
Right.
But it will be seen either within the first 4 games of Andy Dalton either looking like Andy Dalton or getting racked by somebody in the NFC North, or he beats him out in training camp. Now, how much training camp is there going to be that's not going to be virtual for you to be able to do that?
But this is a
remains
move that
to be seen.
The GM had to make to try and keep his job.
100%.
If this is successful, he keeps.
Why would you care about future draft picks if you may not be there to use them?
Exactly. Pitts, interesting to the Falcons. I told you that was going to happen.
Yep. I vehemently disagree. I think it's going to bite him in the backside.
Now is Julio going somewhere? I mean, with the cap.
Who's got the money? Next year, there'll be a lot of moves. At the end of the day, obviously we're not in the building. We don't know how great Matt Ryan looks.
You're right.
But he's also deep enough that you are up this high. You probably should have been picking the quarterback of the future. Now, that remains to be seen. Look at what Tampa Bay did, second round. That's the thing, too. Little things like Aaron Rodgers, what he's upset about. They didn't even let him know they were going to draft Jordan Love.
Right.
They didn't give him the courtesy. They called Tom Brady and said, hey, we're thinking about drafting a quarterback in the second round. Tom, who's so long in the tooth, coming off a Super Bowl, knows his job security. He's like, hey, you do what you got to do. They let other people know. Dude, they called Andy Dalton and said, hey, we're drafting Justin Fields. It's such a slap in the face is what it is.
And they're both just done with it.
Yeah, taking advantage of him. Chipping away.
He's going to be June 2nd, shipped off, probably to Denver.
That's what everybody's thinking.
I don't know if I wouldn't be surprised if John Elway makes that happen. He did the same thing to get Peyton Manning there.
There was a difference. He could just sign Peyton. He didn't have to trade for Peyton.
Correct.
And you're going to have to give up a lot to get Aaron Rodgers. But you're going to have to give up a lot to get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're going to deplete your team and put Aaron in the same situation he is in Green Bay, giving him one weapon and make the rest work for you?
Give up picks.
But if you're Green Bay, do you need to take picks? Like, do I need to? It's going to take a lot of picks.
If you believe in Jordan Love.
Well, yeah, that's true, I guess.
So, okay, we'll move forward on that.
Jordan Love over
I think
Aaron
Jamar
Rodgers.
Chase, Burrow got who he wanted.
Yeah, and I'm good with that because, yeah, that's fine. They had A.J. Green for a decade. Okay.
And then I think it's interesting because there's a lot of connections. So then Waddle to Miami.
Yep.
So back with Tua.
Smith.
Yep.
In Philly, right?
Yep.
With Jalen. Mm-hmm. And then down, who else had? Oh, the number 1 pick, Golden Boy.
Oh, yeah. Him and his running back.
Him and Travis Etienne. Yeah. So there's a lot of nice. Oh, we didn't get to talk about it. Jesus Christ himself is going to be playing tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Timmy Tebow. And I make that joke. I'm sorry. You should never compare anybody to the Lord Jesus Christ. Lord, I apologize. But.
Oh, my
gosh. Urban Meyer did buy a house right next door to him.
I need 3 hallelujahs.
I know. And
oh, my God. That's
at any rate.
I don't know if he's going to start. It's more, I think, of a.
That's your starting tight end. No.
I don't think he's going to be doing too much.
It will not be a PR and it will not be a gimmick. You don't need that. Urban is an ultimate competitor. Urban wants to win, and he knows how to use Tebow.
Correct. To make money and sell jerseys.
You can do that right now with Trevor Lawrence. You have the number 1 pick.
Right.
You don't need no.
I'm telling you, he ain't gonna last. He might stay on the squad this entire year.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Over under 4 touchdowns in the season for Tim Tebow.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's the over-under. That's my over-under.
I'd say over.
I'd say over too.
Just because there's going to be times where they're going to put him like in a wildcat, or they're going to do something to where.
Oh yeah, 2-point conversions.
Yeah.
Because that is becoming a more and more thing.
That, then for sure.
Well, 2-point conversions aren't touchdowns, but I'm saying like just him being in the end zone, in the offense. You know, the Browns drafted 2 receivers late in the draft. They drafted the fastest guy. He ran like a 4.23 or 4.24. He would have been on the Olympic team in the sense of like he qualified in this. Anthony Schwartz. Pretty sure that's his name. He goes by Flash. He's number 10. He's going to wear number 10. He's a speedster. Deep threat to go with Odell and everybody else. Let's not make this about the Browns, but they did have a great draft. And we will see on Wednesday. The schedule comes out, bro. The schedule comes out. No, we don't have to make it about the Browns.
We don't ever do that on this show.
Never.
Never losing. Never lost. So, speaking of the Olympics, Metcalf is supposedly wanting to run in the Olympics. He's running at a USA event.
USA time travel. I would not be surprised. I mean, there's guys that dedicate their whole lives to this and ladies that dedicate their whole lives to this, and not to slap them in the face with the effort and they sacrifice, he's a freak athlete.
Yeah.
Him and Tyreek Hill and the Schwartz kid and maybe Scotty Miller and all. I mean, they have elite world-class speed. If they dedicated time to that.
No, I get it. I don't think, but he's too big. He's too big up top. He's too muscular.
Maybe he should think about throwing the shot put.
I just think he wants to see if he can make it. And he is a freak. I mean, that rundown we all saw this last year was crazy.
Buda Baker.
Yeah. But who knows?
Who's not slow.
And then another great transition. Mike Vick ran a 4.74 40.
Yep. Michael Vick. No, that's not bad. I mean, you think he's been training at running like that? No, he's not at all.
He's been doing this thing. Yeah, for sure. But he got to throw to Jerry Rice.
Yeah. Near and dear to your heart.
The greatest receiver
the third greatest receiver of all time.
We've already gotten into
the third greatest receiver of all time.
We're not going to get into
We'll save that for another day when we do our top 5 greatest receivers of all time. We'll do that this offseason.
Yeah,
during the summer.
We should do some rankings.
Because you're going to hate.
Once we do the build-up.
You're going to hate my top 5 receivers.
Moving on. All right, basketball. I think the biggest thing is, as far as right now, the Lakers have fallen to 7. LeBron thinks the person who came up with the play-in games should get fired.
But he loved it last year.
And
whatever.
It's going to be interesting. You could see them actually losing because right now, if we were to start tomorrow, they would actually play the Warriors. This
is all a part of LeBron James' bigger plan. Let me tell you why. They're going to fall to 8. Like my brother-in-law, Patrick, who's a diehard Lakers fan, everything Lakers, everything Dodgers. He's an L.A. boy. He wants them to go to 8. He wants the Suns to have the number 1 overall record, be the number 1 seed so they can beat the Suns.
But that would mean that they would have to win 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And
if the Lakers are the 8 seed, and run it to the chip, then LeBron takes an 8 seed team to the championship and wins. This is all about. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I can see that being a part of LeBron's plan because he's always forward thinking. Remember, he reads a lot of books. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know about past the second page of the book, but he reads a lot of books.
Okay. Well, that's great, but you have to be healthy and be able to be on the floor to.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
He is 100, probably one of the smartest, IQ, basketball IQ in the game.
Yes.
Same point. You have to be healthy and on the floor, and maybe this is just him.
Father time catching up.
No, or maybe he is just taking that extra time because he knows that these next 5-6 games ain't that big of a deal. They're still gonna once he's in.
He just needs to make it in.
He's gonna will it to happen.
Yep.
It's the same thing they're doing.
And that's what he would do. And I know it sounds like I'm talking a lot of trash on him, and I still think he's the greatest player of all time. So let's not get it twisted. Go ahead, continue with Brooklyn.
They're gonna run through everybody in these. I think.
I heard they're gonna sign Albert Pujols.
We'll get to that, but that's oh my god, just put him in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, just sign everybody else.
Well, if it's working,
I mean, is it?
Yeah. What are they number 2 in the East right now?
Yeah, I mean,
Philly's number 1, and they haven't had Harden.
No.
So you watch, but one thing that sucks that Zion's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
he is fun to watch.
He is fun to watch,
and he's been almost their point guard. If you watch, it's crazy, but he's on it. I like him. Sad to see.
See the Mavs keep chugging along. Luka putting up historic numbers. doing
good.
crazy things. He's very good.
So if you watch him, I watched the game the other night, and it's just how fluid he is. And
It looks effortless.
It
looks effortless.
His little step back, he's got
That new little, but he doesn't travel when he does it.
Yeah. Or the little 1-footer, but I like it.
I mean, they have to get tougher. They have to get some more veteran bodies in there to help get that team over the hump because they're just not going to do it.
They're not going to last. But if they can build around him for next year, I think that they have the potential to build up that.
100%. And like you said, the Suns. How is CP3 not in the MVP talks?
It's crazy.
Nobody's clear cut the MVP this season. If your Golden State Warriors
Curry
were a top 3 seed, he would get called. He would get.
I think if we make it up to number 6,
I mean, he could. He could.
I don't think
it's a weak year. Now, granted, this is coming from somebody who doesn't watch a lot of basketball, so take that with a grain of salt.
You can look at a bunch of different people. I mean, but I don't know. Harden's been out so much. It's a short year. It's going to be weird. It's going to be very interesting. I think even Rookie of the Year is going to be interesting. But
yeah, because I did see a meme about what does James Wiseman have to do?
Yeah,
to beat LaMelo.
Oh, man.
I mean, they're going to give it to LaMelo.
I know
he's hurt. I think.
Have you seen some that he did this little one, like 3/4 of the court down to the pass, underhanded,
legitimate
he is
athleticism with good coaching gets you quite a ways.
Him going around the world and playing outside of the U.S.
made him ready.
Yes. I think that was such a great idea for him.
Yep. Certainly was.
Not for everybody.
Yeah, it worked for him.
One thing that I thought was interesting, we'll kind of get out of the playoff talk, but did you see the Jordan worn UNC jersey?
Yeah, sell.
Got sold for $1.38 million.
Something like that.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's a piece of history,
amazing.
though.
Amazing.
That is a piece of history, though.
Is that the Jordan jersey that in the original?
His shot from college, the 82-83 season?
Yeah.
When did they win the championship?
I can't.
His junior year, so I think that was it.
And then that's the one that's hanging up in Space Jam?
Dude, I haven't seen that movie since I was like 11 years old.
He breaks into his office. He's got all the
That's hilarious, dude. I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid.
I'm just curious. Okay, so before we get into baseball, Mayweather, Paul, popping up. He steals Mayweather's hat.
First off, if you don't think that wasn't planned,
it's hilarious.
it might not have been planned by Mayfield, but it was 100% planned by the Paul brothers.
Mayweather.
Who did I say?
Mayfield.
Oh, man, I got Browns on the brain. My bad. Could have been planned by Baker Mayfield. Colin Cowherd will find a way to blame that on Baker Mayfield. Colin, that's
no surprise you have Cleveland Browns on the brain. Anyways, that's going to be interesting. But the reason Mayweather said that he wants to take the fight is because he wants to shut these kids up. And
that's what more and more of them want to. You saw what the UFC guys were saying. Uriah Hall? Big old dude. Real smart. I would love to knock him the F out. And I would. And he was like, but I wouldn't. He's like, for the money, I get it. He's like, they've made more money than me. He's like, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. And so I guess good on them. If both them brothers want to get knocked out in the same night, I'd let them be a tag team.
Oh, my gosh.
Not me personally. They would knock me that dude's a big boy.
Yeah, they're big.
And they've been I don't want to defend them. I'll respect the hustle because they are making moves. You either hate them or you love them. Younger kids love him. Everybody else hates him. Professional athletes hate him. But they all respect the hustle of what he's doing and the money that he's making, the mogul, the things that he's able to do. And it's not like that dude does not train hard 3-4 hours a day, every day for the last 3 years.
You have to respect the hustle.
So I respect the hustle. I don't respect the game. How about that?
Oh, my God. I don't really know enough about the kid. He kind of seems...
They are, not our cup of tea.
But I respect the hustle and what he's doing, and he's winning. If he knocks out Mayweather, it is going to be.
And there's people that are worried about that because it takes one shot, and these kids are big. Those are big, heavy hands.
Yes, and Mayweather's not that big.
Now
Mayweather used to be able to dodge everything. He was quick as can be, has quickest hands, but that was 10 years ago. 5 years ago was his last fight?
Well, I don't think he's the greatest of all time by any stretch of the means.
Well, for a long time, they said he was pound
for pound, blah, blah.
Yeah,
to me, that'd be Roy Jones Jr.
All right.
That's for a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, or Tyson. Gosh dang. Anyways,
Pretty amazing.
I love, and I have to give a shout out to my grandma. She was a huge Willie Mays fan.
Okay.
He had his 90th birthday this year. He's the oldest one alive, or Hall of Famer still alive. Truth. With Lasorda passing away this year.
Is Larry Doby not in the Hall of Fame? I feel like he's older than that. Maybe not.
You look it up, stat check it, but
Keep talking.
I know it's true. So happy birthday, Willie Mays, because I think he is the greatest baseball player of all time. If you look at the hustle on that, and every single time he ran the bases or ran to catch a fly ball, his hat was flying off.
Nobody wants to hear it, but Barry Bonds might have been before his head got to be, the size of a...
Yeah. I mean, Barry Bonds obviously holds the home run record, but anyways.
And everything. I mean, everything. Look at the steals that he had. Look at everything that he was able to do.
It's insane. I had my son watch recaps of videos because he had his baseball game that night, and I'm just like, dude, you got to watch this.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then Pujols getting let go by the Angels. I can't believe that 10-year contract, we're at that point already. Like, he got into his 10th year, and now they're going to release him. Do you think he's going to sign anywhere, or is he just going to retire?
So if he is to sign anywhere, he's not going to.
La Russa said for the White Sox that
I think he goes back to St. Louis, or he just rides off into the sunset.
I bet you. Well, who knows?
What's he going to do? Go play half a season for the Yankees and get a couple of hits? Like, is that what you want?
Hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, I would just call it quits.
Well, and didn't his deal have something with ownership after it with the Angels and all of this other stuff? There were escalators in it that he's going to be a part of their franchise. So it's like it was a 10-year deal. It was a lifetime deal.
10 years ago.
I understand. And now you look at it, that was a good deal.
I can't remember
if somebody signed for 10 years, $240 million, now they'd be like, that's a bargain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember when it came out? We're like, that's the most ridiculous contract I've ever seen.
With Trout and Harper and all these guys that are signing these.
Dude, think about the Angels, man, having those two guys at the same time and wasting Trout's prime without. I mean, nothing.
I don't think they've wasted it. They just didn't do enough. They weren't acting.
How many World Series appearances have they been in? I can't answer that. And that's baseball.
But they're not doing what the Dodgers are doing. And I think that's what's diminishing that whole LA.
Because they'll never be the Dodgers.
Yeah. So, anyways, if it is an absolute Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, he's a top 5 greatest player of all time.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
You look at the numbers,
hitter.
bro. Yeah.
Top 5 hitter. I'll give you that. Okay. So, I was thinking about this, and I have a story for you.
Oh, we're going there?
Is there
anything else? Let me see. Oh, we'll know the NFL schedule next week, Wednesday. That's how you know the NFL's king is they have a release schedule special, and they'll get millions and millions and millions of viewers, including me.
And that Good Morning Football on the NFL Network is one of the highest ranking sports shows.
Yeah, of course.
Even though we're not in football season at all.
No.
Yeah. I still watch it every morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Love them.
I love it. Or
Nate Burleson.
I record it.
Kay and the boys. Oh, speaking of, real quick, we did send shirts out, and my uncle did send shirts to Nate Burleson, Mary Kay Cabot, Nate Ulrich, Wyatt Teller in the offensive line, including a letter in there that says, here's shirts for the offensive line. There's a smaller shirt for Baker. Went into a little bit about the show. Drunken Uncles. Shout out Uncle Chuck.
Yes.
And putting him out there.
And you put it into some different PR people too, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be. I'm curious. I think
it's going to be interesting to see.
It was a smart idea to.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I love the shirts; they're actually really, really comfortable.
Yeah.
And we'll get into a little bit more of that later. But okay, so my story. So I'm not going to name names, but this is
to protect the innocent.
Hilarious story where one night, it's a Friday, my buddy, and this is before my wife. This is 11 years ago, 12 years ago. Convinced me to go with him on a double date because he really wanted to date this chick, but she had a friend. So he needed
a wingman.
Right. So I didn't know it was going to be in North Scottsdale, which is a little bit fancier than my norm. So we go to Nordstrom's. This cat buys snake boots for like $250.
And if you knew who this cat was, this is hilarious.
Yes.
That he's wearing snake boots, but continue.
Like $250 jeans that was like those, like have the like rhinestones, like the different, like fancy, like.
You said rhinestones?
The little like
Rivets?
Jewels?
Jewels?
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh, yeah, but okay.
I don't even know what they are. But
we all make mistakes.
And then like a $400 shirt. Now it's Nordstrom, so he just tucks all the tags. So we go back to the office, shower.
Okay. Yeah, because the office at the time had a gym with full-on showers that you had to key fobs to get into. Oh, yeah.
So we could go in there. We showered. I'm in my like Levi's, and I think I'm wearing like a Dickies t-shirt.
Of course.
And so we go up to this bar, and it's nice, nothing crazy. The girls are sitting there, and we're in a row. And after about 15 minutes, I smell this like stank.
Oh, no.
And so I ask, after about another 5 minutes, I ask my buddy, I almost said his name.
You almost said his name. I saw that. And we're not good enough to edit that out, so.
Yeah. To switch spots with me.
Right.
And it's like, hey, so, let's just make different conversations. And in passing, I tell him, I'm like, hey, dude.
Something over there stinks.
It stinks. This guy, probably within 5 minutes, is just like, she has halitosis. Like 100%. And I'm like, oh my God, it's right. It's like dead
sucks.
tooth, like dead mouth, like horrible stank. I think we stayed there for another 10 minutes and we left. He even left liking that girl just because it was so bad. It was hilarious. So then we go back to Nordstrom's the next day and return everything.
Absolutely.
Which probably worked out because if we would have gone into the night, some of the clothes might have got
messed up.
But
or he wouldn't have been able to return them because they'd have had some kind of stank on them.
Have you ever been around somebody who has halitosis?
I don't think so. Oh, okay. So way back when I first started at our previous jobs, there was a guy working there who did have, we called him Dragon's Breath. Bro, it was so bad. It's because he had the most jacked up teeth. He used to be, oh my gosh, he used to be a manager of Ladies of the Night.
What?
Oh, that guy. We'll talk about that guy.
Oh, man.
We'll have to, Grove will remember that guy. Grove, you remember that guy. Building 9, way back.
Oh,
anyways.
That was right before. That was
anyways.
Okay. Yes,
yes, but other than that,
right.
no, I have not.
Okay.
Woof.
So let's talk about, we got the shop up on the website.
We do.
So we have 2 different types of shirts.
So right now, the way I have it, because I was in a rush, and I'm not very good with this, but basically you can get the original logo, which is the headphones that say James Out West or J.O.W. Basically in this color, if you guys like this color, in white, in orange, and the shirts are black, gray, and I think we have a few orange shirts for some of the brown stuff. We also have the Cactus Man, our logo.
Yep.
Waiting to get your thing for the RR, so we can throw the RR t-shirt up there.
Yeah,
it'll be in black t-shirts or gray t-shirts with
now
white.
That we got through all of the shirts that we made for the draft
for Mauler
and
season,
all that stuff, we're going to be able to start doing a lot.
So those will be up there right now. They are available. We did get an order last night for 3 t-shirts. I go on to see who it was. It was my mother.
Of course.
So of course I call my mom. Hey, you don't need to do that. Like you can just. I will give you some. She said that she wanted to be the first person to order.
Mama.
Absolutely. So with that, kind of rolls into Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying?
You go first.
So obviously Mother's Day is special to everybody. And if it's not, I don't know what's wrong with you. As a family, we don't celebrate a lot of things. This will be. We see each other a lot. We talk all the time. We're around each other. So it's like. We do enough that we don't need a day to do that. But
it's like Valentine's Day with your wife.
So we drop, usually it's flowers and a snack talk for a little bit, okay. Here, because we have kids doing stuff for that. We have my mother-in-law, so we got to make sure that. We have another mother-in-law. So we've got a lot of moms going on. They're going to go have dinner and have a nice special time. It's going to be fantastic. Talking to my mom and my aunt was just in town and we were talking about it. Like we came from nothing. Like we were poor. When I say poor, like at times powdered milk in the on the shelves, poor.
Yeah.
And for her to come over here and hang out, it was like, you know what? I wouldn't have changed my childhood at all, and that has a lot to do with my mom.
100%.
Because she was able to make everything fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So, shout out, Mom.
That's I think
you, sir.
Moms. I don't want to say underappreciated, but they do a whole lot that I think is unseen.
Hidden stats.
So first off, to my mom, love you. To my wife, Carissa, and to my mother-in-law, Tara.
There you go.
Love you guys. I think it's a huge thing, like with what you're saying, just the going from nothing.
Yeah.
And dealing with me as a kid.
Y'all don't know, but some stories will surface down the road on a different podcast.
I went from being a hooligan and getting kicked out of high school
to a stand-up man. To a stand-up man.
Having a show with my homie in his home-built studio.
And one of the best friends I've could ever imagine.
What? 15,
if you can ask yourself at 2 o'clock in the morning, if you needed to call anybody, how many people could you actually do it? I got a handful of them. He's one of them sitting right here.
For sure. Always and forever.
So.
Always have. Always will.
All right, brother. So right now we're trying something new. We're going to shoot on Saturday mornings and get it up either on Sunday or Monday, maybe even today. But we like to get it out so people have time to watch.
Yeah, mix it up.
It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes.
Yep.
It's on Anchor.
Yep.
If you don't have Anchor,
we got
check
all the
out Anchor.
There. We got Instagram. I'll post it.
YouTube and the website. And again, website for sure. It's merch. Leave a message, anything like that, anything you want to talk about. The website's got it all. We write some blogs, so there's usually 2 or 3 articles a week up there about sports or whatever's going on in the world. Entertainment, mostly just about movies coming out and things like that. Not so many videos, mostly just like, here's some info.
Real quick, to my Uncle Don, he asked me, why the heck was I throwing up gang signs in our picture that we posted? So West Coast is something I always throw up, and then I was throwing up the 3 because we had the number 3 pick.
That's all.
There's your answer.
There you go.
I love you.
All right, brother. Well, next week, man.
Hey, let's do it, man.
All right,
This
man.
is going to be fun.
Later.
All right, homie.